Hey guys, Phillip here, and today in this quick video I just wanted to show you a couple of things that I'm doing right now that are increasing my return on investment on my Facebook advertising for Teespring. Okay, so and this can be used in other things, other niches or other income sources instead of just Teespring. It's more of a basic uh, um, tip for e-commerce in general, but this tutorial is going to be focused mainly on its applications for Teespring. So, excuse me. All right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go to so let's say you're going to go to your page or you're going to go to a competitor's page that has that's been selling something that has been selling well. All right. And what you're going to do is we're going to grab the user IDs of all the people who have commented on the things that are selling well. And let's just pretend that this is your page and that this is your ad or your Facebook page post, and that you're 2 or 3 days into the sale. Let's say you got a 7-day Teespring sale and you're 2 or 3 days in, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to get all the user IDs of these people, and then if we have any other posts, like let's say this post was for the same thing, say one is an ad and one is a page post, right? What we're going to do is we're going to grab all the user IDs of these two posts, and then we're going to create an ad specifically for the individuals who have already liked this post. Okay, so what we're doing is when we start the campaign, we get a qualified audience, right? And then we start running ads to them. And then the people who actually like the ads or the page posts are people who we know for certain are already interested in whatever it is we're talking about, right? So we get all of them, and then we create another ad specifically for those individuals. So, and it could be it could be the same ad, depending on if you're your own designer or if you have a designer on your team, or if you have to pay someone to do it, then use what you got. But what I recommend doing is creating a separate ad, and adding urgency to it. So 72 hours till the sale closes. Only 48 hours, only 24 hours, something like that. Give the ad a sense of urgency for the buyer so that they are more likely to actually go and purchase, right? So, scarcity. It's marketing 101. All right, so what we're going to do, let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to show you how I basically create a retargeting list. This is essentially a retargeting list. It's not official remarketing or retargeting, but it's de facto. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and I'm going to hit Show FB Lead Jacker, which FB Lead Jacker is a graph scraping tool that can also do a couple of other things. If you guys are new to Teespring, you may not have a graph scraper yet. If you don't, I highly recommend you get one, because Facebook's interest targeting is there's a lot to be desired, right? So keep that in mind, and yeah, there'll be a link down in the description below for this if you're interested in checking it out. But let's go ahead and get back to the tutorial. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to the page, and the thing is, you have to be logged in as your personal profile. So like I couldn't be logged in to being an admin of my page and try to do this. Let's say on my page, it won't work. You have to be in your personal profile, which isn't a huge deal. I just wanted to let you guys know because I had just a tad bit of trouble figuring that out in the beginning, right? So anyway, back to the tutorial. We're going to go to post mining, and we're going to do, you can do one post, which is what we'll do for the sake of this tutorial, or you could do all posts. If you wanted to grab the entire active audience of a page, you could do that. All right, and I'll show you guys that here in just a second. All right, so we do one post, and we'll do harvest these likes, and it's going to grab all the UIDs from this page. All right, so let's go ahead and let it finish. Boom, done. Cool. And as you can see, it's grabbed 11,874 IDs, and there's only 11,830 likes. What that is it's also grabbing like people who shared or commented, but also but didn't like. Or so if they commented and they didn't like, it'll grab them, and if they shared, let's say like if one person who liked it shared it and 2 of their friends shared it, that would add 2 people to the number of UIDs. All right, so that's why the number's a little bit bigger. Don't worry about that. I just wanted to let you guys know real quick. And then so say that this is a second shirt for the same, or second post for the same shirt, right? We would do the same thing. We would first of all we would download those IDs we just got from the first post, and then we would grab these IDs from this post, and then we would combine them into a custom audience, right? And then upload that custom audience either in the Power Editor or through the Ads Manager, and then create an ad. Like I said, create an ad for those individuals specifically, and it could be the same ad, although I would recommend differentiating it in at least kind of giving them a sense of urgency, because a lot of these people in these comments will be like, I love it, I want it, I like it, I need this, I must have it, oh no, and all this kind of stuff, but they won't buy for whatever reason. Either they don't have the money at the time, or something else comes in and distracts them, or maybe they're on mobile and they don't want to buy it on mobile, so they're whatever it is, they don't buy. But they're people who, if from your initial targeting audience, have told you that they really are the people you need to be talking to, right? So talk to them, have a conversation with them, send them an ad, and so set up a custom audience and set up a completely new ad, right? Or a new ad set. Set up a new ad and target it specifically at them. And if you really wanted to get intense with it, you could take that custom audience, set up one ad, break it down for men, one ad, break it down for women, another ad, break it down for different age demographics, whatever. You could, if you really wanted to get crazy with it, you could, there's a lot of options that you have, right? So anyway, at least one ad, one slightly differentiated ad that has a sense of urgency in it, and then only target it at those individuals, right? Okay, so another quick thing too you might want to consider is that sometimes people down in the comments will leave crappy messages, right? So like, let's just pretend that Randy wasn't saying something good about the show or this page, but he was saying something bad, right? So we don't want to advertise to Randy again. We don't want our stuff coming up in his news feed pissing him off, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to click on Randy's profile, and then instead of the www up here before Facebook, we are going to replace that with graph, G-R-A-P-H, and then we're going to hit go, or enter, excuse me. And then we're going to grab his UID, which is right here, right? The very first entry. We're going to copy that, and we're going to paste it into a notepad file. And we're going to do this with everybody on our page who leaves a negative comment, all right? And then what we're going to do is, after we have that list of individuals, we are going to go to the Power Editor, and we're going to go to Manage Ad, either to the Power Editor or to the Manage Ads page, and then we're going to go to Audiences, and then we are going to create an audience, and we're going to upload just the people who have left negative comments. And this isn't like a negative comment, let's say like if you're doing a TV show and like someone's like, oh, I hate this character, or I hate that not negative comments like that. Negative comments like, what is this crap in my news feed, or just something like that, something where they're exposing your paid advertising to negative karma, right? So create an audience specifically for them, and then you're going to want to come over to either your campaigns if you already have an ad running like this, or create a new ad, and I'll show you how to exclude them from your custom audiences. All right, so whoops, hold on, sorry about that, guys. This relatively recent change up in the ad format, in the campaign formats, is throwing me off a little bit, so bear with me for just a second. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we are going to navigate to the ad that we want to use for the retargeting, and really you could apply this to any advertisements that you run at all. This is actually an example right here of a retargeting ad that I ran. So anyway, I didn't have a excluded custom audience from this ad, but I didn't need it. Okay, so and if you don't have any negative comments, you don't need to worry about this. But when you start getting negative comments, it's definitely something to take into account, especially if what you're doing could be construed by anyone, anywhere as copyright infringement. You definitely want to take care of this. All right, so we would go to choose custom audience, and none of these are what we need, but we'll just pick active, and then we would go to, so you pick get the audience that you the audience that you want to exclude, the negative, the haters audience, if you will, and then click this little arrow and click where it says exclude this audience, which means that, so you have all of your people up here, all your UIDs right here, and then all your UIDs right here, and any UIDs that are in here that are also in here will not be shown ads to. So what that allows you to do is it allows you to have a lot of freedom in terms of how you gather your custom audiences, you know, and without fear that you're going to pick one of these haters up again in another custom audience and they're going to be whining and complaining, or potentially, you know, sicking the dogs on you, or at least attempting to do so. All right? Or if nothing else, just cluttering up your comments with negative comments that you're going to have to go in and delete, you know? And if they don't want to see it, why should we pay for them? Why should we pay for them to leave a nasty comment, you know? Forget that. That's stupid. Anyway, so that is essentially that. And really quickly, Facebook lead jackers, on their website, they actually have a they have a tool called FB Lead Joiner, which is completely free, and what it does is it allows you to merge notepad files of UIDs together and to eliminate duplicates. Now, real quick, I just want to say that you might not necessarily want to eliminate duplicates. I've seen some people in the forums talking about how, like, if you go through creating your custom audiences and you have an individual that you've been able to capture from 2 or 3 different sources, those are really the individuals that you want in there and that you want to be advertising to. The only thing is, I like to control the frequency that people have viewed my ad, or at least be aware of it, right? So I don't necessarily like doing that, but it's not a bad idea. And you can actually, you know, using Excel or something else, you can actually get those duplicates out anyway, and then just run an ad specifically to those individuals without having their UIDs in there a bunch of times, which that's definitely something I recommend doing, and I'll show you guys how to do that in Excel in a later video. But I just wanted to make you guys aware of that, because FB Lead Joiner, if you're combining a bunch of different UID files, that'll save you a lot of time, and it'll cut down on human error. You know, if you're copying and pasting, like you forget the last entry, or you know, if you accidentally paste over a portion of the entries in the notepad file, or just whatever, it'll just really cut down on the time that you spend getting those files smacked together, because you set that software up once, then you literally just tell it the files you want, tell it where to output the files, tell it where to output the new file, click go, and it's done within seconds. So I thought that was cool. So anyways, guys, I hope that you have gotten a considerable amount of value from this video. If you have, definitely go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Maybe like it as well. If you have some friends that are into Teespring, share this with them. Definitely give them this little tip. Also, guys, down in the description below, there's 3 links down there, all right? There's one for my email list. If you're not already on it, if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you got here from my email list, all right? So if you haven't already gotten on my email list, go get on it. There's going to be tips like this coming out all the time. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, the second thing down there is for Facebook Lead Jacker, or FB Lead Jacker. If you don't have a graph scraper, get FB Lead Jacker. No joke. There's others out there. There's plenty of them, but FB Lead Jacker is one of the better ones. You know, I mean, there's FB Lead Jacker and, you know, maybe Social Lead Freak and, you know, there's a couple others, but FB Lead Jacker, it automatically updates, so you don't have to keep downloading the Chrome extension, which is nice. B, you know, it allows you to grab the active audience from pages, which is crucial. And it's cheaper. It's cheaper than a lot of the more than the software that has more relatively more options, right? So if you're just getting started, I definitely recommend you pick it up. They have, I believe it's a 15-day return policy, so you can always grab it, and if you don't like it, you can return it. But I bought it because this graph scraper right here actually conked out on me for a couple of days, and I needed something, so I found it, I bought it. I was gonna return it. I had planned to return it. I kept it. It's nice. I like having options too when it comes to graph scraping. I like having multiple overlap in my tools so that, you know, if one goes down, I have a backup, you know. But anyway, so, and then third down there, the third link down there is going to be for the FB Lead Joiner tool, which is from fbleadjacker.com, but it's free for anybody, and it works with all UID files. It doesn't just work with Notepad, but you can use it with multiple different kinds of files. All right, so anyways, guys, I hope this video has had a lot of value in it for you, and I will talk to you guys in the near